People always come to me saying, let's travel, let's go here. Okay, let's go. Let's book the flight right now. Book the hotel. I'm ready. I've been ready. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
He want my number, had to hit him with the fantasizing, got him fiending for this.
Most American women are wired for divorce. Many of them come into your life just to divorce you. True that. Most American women live on fast food. Checkers, KFC, Popeye chicken, and McDonald's. I do not want to go through having to buy food every day outside. This is one of the reasons why I would prefer to get married to an African woman, because African women, they have been trained to make food in the house.
You know, I know this sounds harsh, but I know women that will jump in and out of marriage, been married 3 or 4 times, and at least he said Popeye's chicken. I've seen some of y'all plates pouring corn out the can. He should have said a lot of you American men go to work 12 hours a day and come home and eat a tomato sandwich, because I know those too.
If you're wondering why the Passport Bros movement exists, watch this.
The Passport Bro movement in America exists because men in America, they lack motivation, they're mediocre, and women in America have to work, they get educated, and they start making money because they have to. So why would American women have to put up with a man that don't have any of those qualities? These Passport Bros, they think they can go to another country and offer this woman, and he says it in the video, that if he goes to the Philippines and he offers a woman a better life, he said it right there, he's just basically manipulating these women into thinking that they're gonna have a better life with them, which they might, because they may live in very poor areas. But guess what? If you bring her to America, that's expensive. You're going to have to work your ass off. You're going to have to be the provider. You're going to have to pay for all her bills. If she doesn't have an education, you might even have to pay for her education, and she might end up leaving you, because life here is different, and you can't expect women in America to be like the women in other countries. You can't expect women here in America to go for a guy that's below them. If I go to school, I make 6 figures. I want a man that makes 6 figures too, or more. Because men in America, they want their women to go 50-50 on the bills and 50-50 maybe on the household and the chores, which usually is more like 90-10. So why would a woman here settle for some loser? We have high expectations because we can. I literally just saw a video of a guy that is stranded in the Dominican Republic, and he's broke, and he's asking people to cash app him money for his ticket back to the US. Because this man, they're broke in America, and they go to another country where the value of the dollar is a lot higher, and they lie to this woman, and they pretend that they're wealthy men when they're not. So they are gaslighting this woman into thinking that they're going to come here and they're going to have this great life. Just stop lying to women. It doesn't matter if they're from another country. They are women. They have expectations, and you're lying to them. And you know what? Most quality men in America, they have no problem finding women here.
When you pay attention to the Passport Bros, like, they're getting women from like the DR, Colombia,
Yes.
The Philippines, Thailand, like women that can speak very little English, women that don't have education, women that
need them. Women that need
women
them.
are raised to be wives. They learn everything
these other communities,
from birth, from their father, from their mother, how to be a wife and how to support your man.
Women that need them.
It's not even women that need them. It's women that treat them with respect.
So we don't.
Y'all know y'all don't.
Stop yourself.
Y'all know y'all
That's
don't.
not true.
American women are out of touch from reality. They don't realize the West is de-evolving due to this gynocentric de-culture, while Southeast Asia is just as modern as most American cities, except they're actually clean. A man and woman need each other to raise a good family. The man needs the house cleaned, the meals cooked, and kids raised, while the woman needs the bills to be paid, protection, and a strong masculine figure to provide structure. The reason why modern women don't want to depend on a man is because then they'll actually have to behave correctly or they'll be on the street. Women want to be independent so they can leave the relationship whenever they want. And as you can see in the video, the women couldn't even deny that they don't respect men, Even their autopilot of not accepting accountability couldn't allow her to lie about that. The sad reality of Western women is that they're less valuable to men with all of these degrees than women from developing nations, despite having more degrees. The top comment, they speak English in the Philippines. Friendly correction, Philippines is the most English-speaking country in Asia. By the time students graduate high school, they're technically bilingual. And there are more people in China who can speak English than the whole population of the US.
I just came to the realization why I'm single. Every guy that I'm like, oh yeah, he's attractive. Okay, this is not supposed to be offensive, but I see their wives and they just look like so, like, you know, like, not like this, just like, you know, like, I pretend my tattoos are gone. Dude, I look crazy. Like, that's why guys don't want to wife me up. And I just come to this realization today. See? I thought these men wanted, like, you know, big, strong, tough girls. I don't know. I feel like all of them are, like super girly, and all these guys are like, yeah, that's my girl. That's just, like, housewife stuff. And I'm over here, like, I own my own business. I'm covered in tattoos. I'm a little spazzy, but that's okay. We embrace it. But yeah, I don't think any guy's gonna wife me up because they can't take me seriously. And I just realized that. Damn.
So this is for the single people. I've been thinking, like, the last few days, like, I can just not imagine ever being with someone ever again. Like, how do you get to that stage of even, like, meeting someone and then, like, all of a sudden you're just, like, hanging around with them every day? Like, how does that even happen? Like, I don't know whether, like, I'm just going through, like, this phase or, like, this stage of, like, a breakup, even though it was, like, months ago, but, like, I just can't envision it. Like, I just don't think I'm ever going to meet anyone. Like, I'm totally fine being on my own forever, but, like, is this a thing? Like, do people still meet people, or are people just going to be single forever now? Like, I just don't get it.
As a childless woman in my early 40s, I'm constantly thinking about my retirement and what that looks like. And it's always the same, no matter what. And it has been since my 30s, which is to live in a hut or a well-framed cabin in the woods with a community of women. And we all just, like, grow our own food, make our own preserves, read books, fix everything ourselves, have coffee together in the morning, drink wine at night, have a bunch of cats and dogs and chickens and goats, maybe some horses, pigs, whatever. And then we do really weird shit at night that makes everyone scared to come up to our property and just leaves us alone forever until we all just die in our beds, happy. That sounds like a pretty good retirement.
Men don't want to feel like they're dating another man, especially in today's world with undercover transgenders. The more masculine a woman is, the more the man is going to get paranoid that she was born with a Johnson. Today's modern women took advice from the least attractive women in America, feminists, and wonder why they're still single, which is like taking financial advice from a broke person. And after 30, for most women, they're like the rotting fruit on the forest floor. Why would a man want that when he can pick a fresh one off of the vine? As for the last lady in the video, who talked about a self-sustaining community of cat ladies, those usually never work because double post wall women are the most miserable people out there. They have a life full of regret and need a cocktail of drugs just to function every day in life. The top comment of the video said, "We don't want tough/strong or a challenge. We're tired. We need peace and softness to balance us out." After a long, hard days of work, the last thing a man wants is to have a shouting match at home. The nose ring is a giveaway. Women will dress up appropriately for interviews and a job, yet won't do the same for a man. You provide me no companionship, yet you rob me of solitude. Should have said temporary companionship because 80% of women filed for divorce. So in reality, a man would rent these women for the full price.
I think the issue with modern men and modern women in the dating arena is that there are so many modern men that want traditional women without having to be traditional men. What am I talking about? Let me let him explain.
And typically in an Arab household, the man usually is the provider financially, and that's just how it is.
That is just something I wasn't prepared for.
Most Arab women expect that.
Just like most American people expect the woman to contribute half. Or not half, just contribute.
But you're not dealing with an American woman.
No, but she'd have to deal with some of my things, though, too. This was definitely not what I wanted to hear. I thought Moroccan women prioritize family over material things, and I was not anticipating that it would mean I have to be the sole provider for a household. I didn't sign up for this.
So what do you mean you weren't prepared to be a sole provider? Like, who raised some of these men? They are so adamant that they want a traditional woman, but they also want that traditional woman to be modern enough to expect to have to pay bills. This man goes on to say that he wants an independent, financially independent woman who will have his kids and clean and be submissive and all these other things. Why would she do all of that? Like, you realize that the women in here in America won't even take that deal. So they get their passports and they globe trot all over the world trying to find a woman vulnerable enough, desperate enough, in search of citizenship enough to take that deal. This is predatory behavior. When you're looking for a woman who wants to have access to the benefits and the perks and the rights that we have as Americans, because they don't have those rights in their country, but you're going to make her earn it. She's going to have to earn it by you making a mule out of her, expecting her to do more than you're doing. So why should she do all of that for your 50% of the bills? Like, the deal isn't being accepted by American women, and you're realizing that it's not going to be accepted by women in other countries either, because it's a bad deal and you know it. And oftentimes these women in other countries, they're going to expect you to send money back home to their parents and their siblings and their families back home. Like, you think that you're saving money. You're trying to find a good woman for a discount by shopping all around. But she's also going to expect you to provide for her as well. Once you expect a woman to have your child and her ability to work like your ability to work is changed, you're going to have to provide for that woman. When you want her to stay home, how's she going to stay home and work 40 hours a week? Like, some of you have no idea what you're asking. Or maybe you do, but you don't care. Why should she run herself into the ground? And what does she get? A discount on bills? A discount. Because you're not even willing to pay the whole thing. Like, you want provider benefits without having to actually be a provider. You let somebody speak long enough and they'll tell you everything you need to know. And the men are beginning to say the quiet part out loud. We weren't expecting to take care of any woman. American woman, woman overseas. We were expecting a servant. They're not looking for partnership. They're looking for ownership.
She asked who raised these men, single moms and feminists. Also, she chose one example of a guy who wanted this unrealistic woman, basically created a straw man of an argument. Most passport bros do expect to be the breadwinner to get a traditional wife. It's just that in America, modern women want that and more. They want the man to be rich and provide them with a vacation lifestyle without doing wife duties. Another part of her fake argument is that these women from foreign nations are looking for a green card. Yes, some are, but most passport bros aren't moving back to the States, when their dollar goes at least 5 times future in that country. This clueless future cat lady thinks these women in foreign countries dream about working a job. They don't want to have a career, they want to be a stay-at-home wife. Hell, modern women, if they've married a rich man, would still prefer working a career than staying at home. Of course, women in the comments section eat this up. They want us to pay for the privilege of serving them. These women are clueless. Passport bros have never expected a foreign woman to pay for anything. They're not looking for partnership, they're looking for ownership. A real relationship divides labor. Man goes to work while the woman manages the home. A partnership is what modern women want, and they think being a homemaker is ownership, yet they have no problem working on the weekends for a company. They want women to do 100%, but somehow he wants to be the boss. Modern women do 100% when they're in a relationship with a loser Chad or Tyrone.
A lot of these guys are saying y'all are going to end up lonely and single, but at least we're not bringing more Dusties into the world. By the way, I'm married and I have 2 daughters, so I didn't bring no Dusties into this world. Thank goodness, because I didn't marry a Dusty. But at the same time, women don't want to bring more dust into the world that you can't even afford to take care of, guys. They don't want to marry a man they got to make excuses for instead of brag on, okay? So I'm sure a woman would rather be single than to sit there and make up excuses for her loser husband or whatever, okay? So don't think that women not marrying is an indication that they're unwanted, because women get proposals all the time. They just have to turn them down because they're dusty proposals or they're proposal from men who aren't going to meet their standards, okay? So they got to turn down a lot of proposals from dust, okay? And it's easy to turn down proposals from dusties because all you have to do is close your eyes and imagine your life in 2 years from now, and it's going to be worse than it is right now. So that's why they quickly say no. They say, I can't do this. Nope. And they don't end up marrying, these type of men because they don't want to repeat the poverty cycle or, lower their standards to be with somebody who thinks, living mediocre or in poverty is okay. So no to struggle love, exactly. You said Walmart promise rings. Exactly. They're saying no to them Walmart rings. They're saying no to struggle love. They're saying no to Dusties. So y'all go marry somebody who need a green card and y'all make the best of it while it lasts.
If these women are so strong and independent, then why do they care about how much a man makes? Thought they cared about equality? These women just want to be at the finish line. In the 1950s, most women married poor men. But both were young and together they knew they can build wealth. So when a woman asks, where are the good men? They turn them down because they didn't want to help a guy build a company by supporting him. And women not getting married are an indicator that they aren't wanted. Non-provider men are just projecting their own fears of being alone on us. There's almost no such thing as non-provider men. Majority of men have to work because society doesn't provide men's shelters and support the deadbeat men. We'd rather be single than to be with a man that can't provide. No thank you, I can do bad all by myself. As the women said in the video, women have high standards. They want a man making 6 figures, which is more than enough to provide. The scare tactics are real. I'd rather be alone than be with a Dusty. The joke's on these women, because a man of means doesn't want to be with them.
Wow. I got a new saying. Once a nice guy's got his passport, he's gone forever. I'm a wild boy.
Even the rich and famous men who aren't broke, or any other shaming descriptor these women use to describe a passport bros, aren't dealing with American women. The top comment said, the moment I heard about the bullying, it all started to make sense. Modern women in the West would rather spend their time shaming men than actually become more viable for marriage. Why the girls mad though? Yeah, thought these women don't need no man. And if passport bros are losers, then why do they care? Of course a woman had to comment. The difference between him and passport bros is he actually has money, charm, and isn't self-hating. Women don't pay to travel, so they don't know that it costs a good amount of money to actually travel to another country. And passport bros are simply getting a much better RIO or return on investment moving to a non-Western developing country. Michael B. Jordan would never be a passport bro. Don't put him in with y'all. These women can't see the truth if it slapped them in the face. The paparazzi are literally taking pictures of Michael B. Jordan outside of the US dating foreign women. He's in a Chase credit card commercial that rewards people who travel constantly. He may never date an American celeb for the rest of his life. The jokes write themselves. modern women are now catfishing passport bros so they can get the traditional benefits of dating. And according to the comments, this is common. LMAO, I love this for you. When I lived in Brazil, white passport bros were always like, your American accent is so good. Boy. Aren't these women claiming the passport bros are broke or losers or rejects, yet they're chasing them across the world? I'm screaming, we stay winning. Chasing men who literally fled the country to get away from these women is winning. If the roles were reversed, that would be called stalking. Another chick wrote, run up the tab. These women expose themselves.
Ladies, 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 you know I love you to death, but y'all gotta stop with this goofy ass cap of what he won't do, the next man will. As a 38-year-old eligible bachelorette, I could tell you right now, the next man probably won't. You're getting worse from him. But something that I really want to discuss with y'all, and this is gonna catch me smoke, but you can't cancel reality. The playing field is not level. There are more good single women than there are good single men. And the reality is, what you won't do, the next bitch actually will. There are good women with good pussy and good credit and good manners, thirsty as fuck to come scoop up a man who will go 50% on the bills and come home at night to play his little fucking game. You feel me? You're so worried about aesthetics and keeping up with the Joneses and what so-and-so did on fucking Instagram. You feel like your man ain't putting on for you. Let me tell you something. A good man is a man who comes home every night. It's a man who listens and communicates to you. It's a man who doesn't cheat. It's a man who pays bills and shows up for the children and fixes things where he can. That's a damn good fucking man. And the same way that you want to be loved, he wants to be loved too. Everybody is a fucking prize, not just you. Stop expecting these men to jump through fucking hoops to earn your love, but you're asking for a love that you can't even fucking reciprocate. You got to be willing to give what you want to fucking get in order for that shit to fucking last. So if you got a good man, start pouring into him and stop dangling greener pastures in front of his face, because if you had it like that, you'd have it like that. You feel me?
In most countries, women outnumber men. It's only in America or the West that it's the other way around, because a lot of men come to the West seeking work. In Eastern Europe, there are so many single women than men that clubs don't allow ugly women to enter. Not only are the men outnumbered, but women just want a traditional provider who keeps a roof over their head and pays all the bills, not a millionaire like Western women want. These women in developing countries would be happy living a middle-class life, raising their own kids, cooking 3 meals a day. This woman in the video sadly only realized this when she's north of 30. Otherwise, she wouldn't be single. If I was gonna simp, she'd be the one. There are plenty of women who are younger who say the same thing in other countries. Protect this woman. Exactly what she said happened to me. She never reciprocated anything or appreciated me. I found my better half, so I thank her. What happened to chivalry? Women killed it. Yeah, I want to believe this, but my Tinder and Bumble swipes aren't meeting your good women ratio data. Most good women don't need Tinder because they're married already. There's a reason why you don't see gold bars laying on the ground. And the dating apps are for fun, not to find a relationship. Jen, don't even tempt to simp. She didn't stay single till 38 for no reason. As stated before, a lot of women on social media say what men want to hear just for clout. But it's good. Hopefully the younger generation of women see it and think twice before wasting their 20s on just hooking up.
Everybody likes the nice guy. You're in a relationship, everyone's like, oh my god, he's so great, he's so educated, he's so beautiful, he's so handsome, he's so smart, he's so invested in you, he just loves you. And you're sitting there and you're just like, yeah, it's not it for me. And you know he's never done anything like super wrong. You're just like, I can't. Because maybe you're a level 9 and he's a level 5. And no matter how much the level 5 tries to make it to the level 9, they can't do it. And so you have to go back down the other way because nobody's going to understand, especially when you leave the nice guy, because everybody's going to be like, what are you doing? Like, he's so perfect. Why would you do that? You're just going to walk away. And then you're like, how do I even walk away? How do I have the conversation? You sit down and you take radical responsibility and you look at them with all the love, courage you can muster. And you say, I love myself enough to walk away from this relationship. You can tell them all the ways that they've been good to you. It's okay to leave the nice guy.
Modern women confuse stability with boredom. That's why good guys shouldn't waste their time on them. They're blown out, so they need the most of everything to feel something. They need to think the guy is cheating on them for them to respect him. Otherwise, in their eyes, he's lame. There are hotter women in other countries who cherish great guys and will reciprocate when treated nicely. One of the top comments said it the best. Biggest problem is all of these level 5 girls thinking they're level 9. In reality, these great men that these women think they're on a higher level in are actually out of their league. It's just that women are so inflated in the West, great men have to settle for sub-average women until they travel overseas. Funny thing is, when she got old and tired of the things that don't work, she gonna want him back, but it will be too late. The guys that excite her have arrest warrants in multiple states, will choke her out, and will sleep with her best friend. I'm starting to realize that Passport Bro is the perfect fit for me now. Do we have good women in the USA? Yes. Can we find them? No, I can't. Even if a man finds a good woman in the US, he still has to deal with the anti-family laws and inflation.
Dating in America versus dating overseas. I'm in Colombia right now. I'm about to go on a date. Remember that American woman who refused to go on a date to the Cheesecake Factory, a place where the bill is easily $100? I'll spend that same amount of money on this date and you can see how she reacts. Let's go. What's up, guys? I'm out here waiting for my date. Dude, these bowling alleys are insane. She made it, y'all. 20 minutes late, but out here, that's actually like 10 minutes early. I swear Colombia time is a real thing. To pay for a bowling lane here, 2 players for a full hour is only $17, and the aesthetics here are nuts. Now, she speaks zero English and my Spanish sucks, and she wanted me to use Google Translate when we got confused, but I have something much better. It's called a pocket translator, and this is so much better because we can actually look at each other when we talk, and it'll translate for us. For your face. We hung out for a bit, and it was time for our food. Yes, they served this at the bowling alley in your lane. This place was crazy, and it was super, super affordable. Like, where are you going to find this in the States for this price? Nowhere.
With the obesity rates and the lack of shaving in the US, that Colombian chick could be a legit model in America. She doesn't speak English, but she's more interested in what he has to say than most American women would. American women would be scrolling on social media during the date. Middle-class American men can live a baller lifestyle in these developing countries. That's $250 in American dollars, LOL. No, more like over $300. You are living the dream. Hence why the Passport Bro movement has taken the internet by storm.
Normally I would hate to give you attention without charging you, but I just thought this was an interesting point to make real quick. Let's look up the definition of the word cope. The definition of the word cope is to effectively deal with something difficult. Now, which do you think is the larger cope? Me going to the pet store and buying a cat? Or you flying to Colombia to marry a woman who doesn't speak the same language as you because no woman in your country wants anything to do with you? I get a cat to replace you. You have to fly to a foreign country to replace us. That's a cope.
No, the cat is a cope for being single and childless, as they don't replace men. Otherwise, cat ladies wouldn't be so miserable. And it's true. Majority of men who are Passport Bros do get rejected by American women. That's because the modern woman only wants the top 1% of men. They think they're better than the guy they qualify for. She just proved the Passport Bros point. Women in the West who have any type of looks charge men just to talk to them. They're high-priced escorts without the happy ending. While in countries like Brazil, there are much hotter women who would be happy to talk to a great guy. I love this so much. Well done. In 10 years, let's see who's coping and who's not.
Influencers lie to our women. They tell y'all that y'all can travel out like the Passport Bros could. Yes, you can travel out like the Passport Bros, but they will find wives. You will not find a husband. You will find getting smashed first, because American women, their mouth disqualifies them from a lot of things. And foreign men are not going to put up with that foolery. See, what you need to do is get your mindset right now. Get it fixed now so that you can find a brother that's here, that you can learn how to submit properly. Take heed to the message.
The only foreign men trying to marry American women are ones looking for a green card or a sugar mama. Because these modern women will embarrass them in their community, and there are no domestic violence laws in some of these countries. The West women can disrespect anyone because they're protected by the gynocentric countries in the West, but that doesn't mean that protection will follow them like a passport. What do the comments say? Top comment says, "Sister, you're saying the truth absolutely. I'm from Nigeria. A lot of American women are not wife materials. These American women can go over there for a screw, but that's about it. If they're decent looking and if they're past the wall, they gotta become a sugar mama for some poor young man. Otherwise, they'll get the same results as the West." The MGTOW truths are universal truths. It's just that a lot of Western women don't see it because of all the feminist noise. Another commenter says, "Influencers want engagements and traffic, so they definitely won't tell the truth." Yup, it's also called confirmation bias. People are more likely to consume ideas that are more aligned with their own. Think of it as a cope, if you will. Because anything that shatters their worldview shatters their being. Another man comments, "We keep trying to tell them, but YT feminists got them fooled." YouTube feminists? The feminists? I don't know. The West that upholds feminism is 30% of the world, and the rest of the world at 70% doesn't. There are countries that ban American pop singers from performing there because they refuse to allow their women to be ruined. Another commenter said, "Trust me, they can't find foreigner husbands. We don't tolerate disrespect from women." In the Middle East, women are beaten for adultery, and in Dubai, American women get sent to jail for disrespecting men in the public. A feminist comments, "Their mouth disqualifies them? Thank God for women like Harriet Tubman who refuse to be enslaved." This is why Western women are single, because they compare being a trad wife to slavery. Do they not know the man works in that equation? Cleaning the house and raising the kids is not the same as being forced to pick cotton in 100-degree weather for 6 days out of the week, then live in a barn with the rest of the slaves and barn animals. Another dude comments, "Tell them, an American woman brought my guy in Jersey from Nigeria. They broke up now, ask why." Well, at least the Nigerian got a free trip to America out of it.
You know, Natalia, for somebody who wants to stop talking about a certain subject, you sure won't shut the fuck up about it. You've made what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos since you said no more Thailand talk. You know, you disingenuously asking this question, Natalia, that's not always.
Let me ask you a question. What was so offensive?
So many people, way before I said anything, have been telling you what it was that you did that was so offensive. You went to Thailand and recorded and filmed yourself telling everybody all the reasons why you were superior to Thai women. The way you spoke about Thai women was so disrespectful. You just kept talking about how superior you were because you were so well educated.
Because we are clever, we are educated, we know what we're doing.
And you're so much harder to get.
Down for you. I said that Thai women will not challenge you back. Are more calm, less confrontational, don't like to have debate, don't like to have an argument. So that's why I made this statement. So you tell me what's racist about this statement.
And that you could go down any street in Thailand and essentially buy a woman is basically what you said.
The reason they fly to Thailand because they can't pick women like me just on the streets. In Thailand, they have more opportunities. They go to walking street and women are throwing themselves at them. In Thailand, you can walk to a walking street and get what men want for free.
And no, I don't have to watch whatever other videos you're telling me I have to watch to get full context of what it is you said. It's very clear what it is you were trying to say. And instead of just listening to people and asking yourself, you know, though I don't feel like I've done something wrong, could it be possible that I have offended people? Because judging by this overwhelmingly negative response that I've been getting from people, maybe I have. Let me think a little bit on why that could be. But instead, you decide to, octuple down? Then even I explained to you why these types of stereotypes are harmful to women, not just women in Thailand, but Asian women around the world. But you didn't want to listen to that either. You just wanted to say that I'm clout chasing off of your account. What? I've been talking about the over-sexualization and the fetishization of Asian women for a long, long time, way before I knew you even fucking existed, Natalia. I don't need you for shit. But judging by how many videos you've put my face in and tagged me in, I don't think I could say the same about you.
Passport Bros. These so-called feminists who are pro-women are now shaming foreign women for wanting to be a stay-at-home wife for a great American guy. The same guy these American women wouldn't even look at twice but expect him to bail them out with a 304 retirement plan called marriage, and when they hit the wall. If they're trying to prove that they're better than everyone else by bashing foreign women, they're doing the opposite. They're helping out the passport bro because by showing the world what men in the West have to deal with. It's not that the passport bros are rejects. They're simply looking for a higher quality woman. A real woman to be exact. Because now American feminists don't even know what a woman is. These foreign women aren't dumb. They're not going to marry a loser just because they're in a developed country. China 30 years ago was mostly villages. Now it has 5 to 6 New York-sized cities. While the West is de-evolving, the rest of the world is leveling up. There are cleaner and safer streets in Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam, which has 9 million people, than the richest city in America. Let's see if the comments agree. Dude comments, well, Caucasian or European women have been told that they are the standard. The woman responds, this was a traditional versus modern feminist war going on. Traditional women won by a landslide. Exactly. It's every race of women in the West who have bought the feminist lie. If it wasn't the case, these blown out post-wall women would be bragging on social media that foreign men want them. They wouldn't be posting every other video of them not being able to find a man. Guy comments, she's heard Thai women and Western men are finding happiness in each other. Making Thai bashing videos is all she has. Without that, she'll have nothing. If the white woman is going to Thailand to try to find a Western man, she's going to be extremely disappointed. The passport bros didn't fly to another country to find a modern woman. They escaped the West to get away from them. And even more so, these passport bros went to Thailand because they are the most attracted to Thai women. That's their preference. They think Thai women are the most beautiful women in the world, so they aren't even looking twice at the white European. Another commenter, Western narcissistic women are clearly delusional. That sums up these feminists. Another man comments, using her mindset, given her accent and the history of those who shared said accent, it's on brand. Apparently, the European has an accent that's from a poor trashy area of the UK. So she herself is looked down on in her own country. In countries like England, there's still somewhat a class system and there's much less wealthy men marrying poor women like you see in America.
This message is for the passport bros. I was talking to my mother the other night and I was explaining to her what the movement was about. She had never heard of it. And, after I gave her the explanation of why men are leaving westernized countries to find wives elsewhere, or even love elsewhere, or dating elsewhere, she said, oh my God, I have a friend, her son is doing that very thing and basically having the best time of his life. He is dating the most beautiful, wonderful women that treat him the way women used to treat men. He meets their families and the families absolutely adore him. They shower him in food and cakes and pies, very kind and loving and open to him. Very unlike a lot of situations you find here in the United States. There's one woman in particular that he's more serious about now, and she washes his feet. I know that might sound extreme, but why shouldn't you wash someone's feet that you care about? She does his laundry. She's friendly, fit, and fun. All of that stuff that US women, claim is subservient or demeaning, or you shouldn't do that for a man. I mean, it sounds insane. So my mom was saying that he is just so happy and having such a wonderful time over there. He doesn't want to get married right now, and why should he? You don't have to become a passport bro just to go over and snag a wife. Maybe you just want to date for a while and have a positive dating experience before you find the woman of your dreams. So I support this 100%. If I had a son, this is exactly what I would tell him to do. I would encourage him to do some type of profession where it could be done remotely and you can travel anywhere in the world with your computer and make money. So I think it's wonderful, and I support the passport bro movement 100%. And if anyone ever needs a letter of reference, hit me up.
That's a point that a lot of men in the West don't realize, because they're taken for granted. In other countries, they value the male provider so much that the families give a suitor the VIP treatment, like the woman described in the video, because they know a great man will build a legacy with their daughter, that a great man will provide a much higher return on investment to their family. Compare that to the States, the female's mom is usually a single mom who's jaded and sees the great man as an ATM or another dick the feminist daughter is hopping on. You're not marrying just the individual, but her family as well. And that's going to be a part of the support structure for your relationship. If they're not also traditional minded, your wife is going to run to them every time she wants to act up to support her thought desires of doing girls' night out with her friends. They're going to pressure you to have lower standards in the relationship and accept the bare minimum because that's who they are. This could be your family as well. You give your girlfriend the walking papers because she wants to go on a girls' trip to Cancun and they'll nag you, claiming you're insecure or controlling. And back to her point about this passport bro getting treated like a king by his serious girlfriend. He doesn't get that for just showing up off the airport. He has to bring value and financial security to get that treatment. And this as well as dating. They're not going to commit to a man unless if he fully commits to them with a traditional relationship. In short, the benefits of a relationship have a cost, and this is what a lot of modern women and losers overlook or ignore. Let's read the comments. Top comment says, so we labeling it passport bros instead of avoiding the hoes. Funny. Second highest rated comment says, my first wife filed for divorce after 7 years and ran off to marry husband number 4. My second wife is from Vietnam, and it's been 8 of the best years of my life. Yup, these American women are like wild animals. They can't be tamed. They're addicted to the new dick for the rest of their life. Another reason why Asian women are so popular is because they're very short. So short, and even average height men who've been rejected all their life for Chads and Tyrones are tall enough for these women, because everyone is tall to them. Another dude comments, best decision of my life in terms of a relationship. She has her role as a traditional female and mine as a traditional man. She is my piece. There's a natural piece because the traditional wife isn't trying to be the husband, like the Western women do. She complements the man and harmony is created. Another man comments, the dating market in the US is trash. It's not how it was with our grandparents when they got together. Times have changed, but not for the better. As feminists say all the time, it's not the 1950s anymore. There are more single women who own homes than men now in the United States. I wonder how many of those women get the house from the divorce or from a sugar daddy or being an OnlyFans performer. Probably enough to make that stat in favor of women. A man comments, my fiance is a great woman. I went to the Philippines to meet her and we have been together 3 years. Hopefully she will be here soon. Bad move. It's not going to work as well unless you move to that country, because your dollar goes further and there's a support system for a traditional marriage. Bring a foreign woman to the States may corrupt her because she's in a bad environment.
I'm seasoned social worker by day, but it's the weekend, so I'm not a social worker. But anyways, I am just fascinated with the discourse of passport bros, passport women, and I'm wanting to know the psychology behind it and, the mental health behind it. And I'm not going to ask, who hurt you? No, because I know that once a baby is popped out of the womb, they're not popped out of the womb being haters and hating specific genders, hating specific races, and hating specific people from specific countries. No, as we grow up, that behavior is learned. So my theory is that, yes, if someone is hating on a specific gender, race, or a person from a specific country, then that had to have been learned somewhere or something had to have happened to them. And this is, like I said before, this is not a, who hurt you type bullshit, because that's not going to help anybody. But I would just like to know, I would like to challenge people who are having these types of feelings against people of certain races, genders, and countries. I would like to challenge y'all into really, thinking about, did anyone specific from this specific gender, race, or country, did they hurt me though? Did they hurt me? Did they make me feel like I wasn't man enough or woman enough for them? Did they cheat on me? Did they neglect me? Did they abuse me? Did they make me feel like shit? And because when people don't unpack that shit and really work on those feelings, those unresolved feelings, then this can lead to the generalization of everyone of that specific race, gender, or from that specific country, they're the same way. For example, and I was in therapy for this too. I was essayed by multiple white men. So, and I had counseling, you know, like when I was younger, I had counseling, and I had counseling as an adult too. So, I, you know, now I think, oh, not all white men are bad. There are some white men that are bad, but not all are bad. And the problem is that when we make generalizations about a person of a specific gender, race, or of a country, that leads to issues of that always or never mindset. Oh, people from this country never do this, or people from this race never do this. And that's not right. It's not accurate, and it's gonna cause you a headache and cause you a lot more problems. So I would just, you know, really challenge people to unpack that hate that they're spewing. And I would also like to know if I'm wrong. You know, if someone is a part of this movement, supports this movement, I want to know, like, if you haven't been hurt by this, then what's the reason? What is the reason behind the spewing of this hatred? Where did that come from? But that's just what I want to know. Thank you.
She wrote in the description of the video, "I am fascinated by this concept of passport bros, passport girls. It's not normal to be spewing out this much hatred for a specific race, gender, or someone from a specific country. This is learned behavior, or it is the result of unresolved trauma, unresolved issues, or unresolved feelings. I'm gonna challenge y'all into really thinking of the root cause in why you feel the way you feel. Don't be scared to dig deep. Mental health matters, mental health advice." Alright, I don't know who types like this. It's not that big of a secret. It's called hoe inflation. Never in the time of history did men have to do so much more for a less quality woman. The mental health isn't on the men's side. It's the feminists who are batshit crazy. It's more like the men experience PTSD from all the BS and bias they have to deal with in the gynocentric West. This post-wall thinks her and other modern women's issues apply to men as well. And they don't. Her having mental issues is not a virus. Men aren't going to get affected by it unless if they deal with her. She's 100% describing her own issues and projecting them on passport bros. So most passport bros aren't racist. The complete opposite, because they go to another country and procreate with women of other races. Make it make sense. This proves that they're giving anyone a degree. Colleges are handing out diplomas like Happy Meals. And this is the typical therapist or counselor, which is someone who clearly has issues telling other people how to improve their life. She needs to take her own advice and work on herself, along with going to the gym. She has no business telling other people what to do. Let's read the comments. Top comment, "I always took it as men wanting to have more options and finding women that align with them more. It's not hate, but perceived as that by women because..." That somewhat is the reason. Most men just want one option, to find a pretty traditional woman to spend the rest of their lives with, not screw a bus full of foreign women. Another comment, "Nowadays, people choose to be ignorant instead of being a reasonable person. It's easier to blame than taking responsibility." And the post wall in the video responded, "I agree. It's a lot more beneficial if people work on their shit though." Ignorant of what? A reasonable person wouldn't sign a marriage contract in America or the West because there's a massive incentive to break the contract. Both of them are projecting what modern women do. It's modern women that need to work their shit through because they're the ones who are more likely to be on drugs or to see a therapist. The passport bros aren't blaming. They're pointing, they're observing, they're documenting theirs and other men's experiences with modern and feminist women. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you'll get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.